or let me say it's sort of opposite.
Have you seen your face when you answer questions? I got to tell me the zebra and the thitterfly. Do you know why the thitterfly?
It's 9toLIFE. It's 9toLIFE. It's 9toLIFE. It's 9toLIFE.
Let's start. You want to do the intro?
I don't want to do the intro today.
You don't want to do the intro today? You don't feel like it?
I'm tired.
Man, me too.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
Let's do it on the white shot. Welcome to 9toLIFE, the first official episode.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
This is a get to know me tag. We're not YouTubers, but we thought it prudent to introduce ourselves a bit.
Can you prevent?
Prudent is when you do something in a thoughtful way and consider all the angles. So we thought it to be prudent. Oh, Han. This is a career podcast with accomplished high performers. We need to match.
So what prudence was like? There was no other way you could have phrased that.
No, it's prudent. We found it to be a good thing. We found it to be good for us to introduce ourselves and not just, just speak without any sort of prompts. So what we're going to be doing today, we prepared some questions.
So that you can know us, so that you can know us, who we are, before we go into knowing other people. Because we are the constant. We are who you're going to be seeing every week. So it'll be good to know us and, figure out who we are, what we do, what's our vibe. So, we've got the questionable head. That's the head of questions.
I was asking myself for what's so questionable about the head now.
Lesego, do you want to pull out the first one?
I'll pull out the first question. No, did we explain what we're doing? We didn't explain what we're doing. What we're doing is that we prepared a series of questions. We're going to ask, so whatever we pull out, we're both going to answer the question. And we don't know how many we're going to do now. We'll just see how it goes. But it's just so that you can sort of get to know us better. Hopefully we picked good ones for you guys so that we achieve our objective for the day. My man, are you doing which kind of tea? What's happening? And I'm seeing now I must look away now. Okay, so our first official question in getting to know each other and each other. We know each other. People to get to know us. What is your favorite thing about your career?
Yeah. Shoo.
Which one?
Which career? Okay, so
maybe you can give us some context and then that'll...
Yeah, so I do a few things. I'm a business development manager for an investment company that has interests in construction, facilities management, and ICT. And I think, then I also have got a panel beating business. Then I've also have a facilities business, consulting business. So with my 9 to 5, I think what I like about that is the challenge, because as a business development manager, you are setting up the strategy of getting new clients, you're maintaining those relationships, you're trying to get new people. So it feels like macking. It really feels like macking. Like we are sharing.
So you are flexing your shelling skills on a daily basis.
Yeah, because you now can't use your shelling skills elsewhere, because taken and stuff.
Okay, I was about to say hide your brother, your sister. Hide your sisters and your daughters and your mothers.
Yeah, so it's like shelling. Yeah. And then I don't know. Okay. And then with the other ones, hey, I just need to eat.
So your favorite thing is that you get paid.
Yeah, like I just need to eat. I don't know, you?
Yeah. For me, so I'm an accountant.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
You're being modest.
I'm not being modest. I'm an accountant. My profession is me looking at numbers and compiling them in such a way that it tells the story about how we performed. over a period,
Okay.
be it a quarter, a year, half a year, etc. So my favorite thing about that is that it gives you a very broad view of an organization, right? So it's like if you want to, it's like how the credit bureaus, if they want to paint a picture of who you are when you're applying for credit, they look at your financial information and it tells them what type of person you are, whether you are responsible, whether you pay things, propensity to pay.
Propensity to pay indicators.
So it gives you a good view then of who this person is, and it's the same with our with businesses. If you want to, they say accounting is the language of business. So if you want to be fluent in business as a language, learn your accounting.
So your favorite thing is telling a story of a company and
Being able to look at have a snapshot of the financial information and know what that company is about.
okay. It's question number 1. Okay, I'm pulling out now.
No.
The meaning what you will we'll see. We'll see.
The questionable head.
If you could be any fictional character, who would you be and why?
Fictional character.
Yeah.
Yo, that is a tough one because there's so many people. When I think about who I admire, I usually draw different things from different people. One person that jumps out immediately is like a Harvey Specter. Yes.
Yeah.
I like how he's able to sort of move between different roles. He knows how to be an animal when it's time to be an animal. He knows how to be the cool, sophisticated gent when it's time to be that. So his ability to just switch around, I like that about him. I also like someone like a fictional character, right? The show Billion.
I hate you because I was about to say Bobby Axelrod. I was about to say Bobby Axelrod. You stole my answer.
You know who else I like? The U.S. attorney's dad. Because of how strategically he thinks.
Okay.
He's able to say this move is going to result in this, not now, but 5 years from now. Because I think, I like that about people that don't just think about how things are today, but how they're going to be in 10 years, 5 years, and whatever.
So I leave
my
answer. Yo.
And I leave it at that.
So I was gonna say Bobby Axelrod. Yeah, because
one person?
yeah, because for me it's
Move on.
no. I Bobby Axelrod.
And someone else.
I get
No.
No, so when you said Harvey Specter,
Yes.
I was smiling because I was like, he and Bobby Axelrod have the yes. And what I like about Bobby is that he's family orientated. He has that very soft side. He's not a monster at home, and then he goes out there and he's a monster. I also love how he flirts with danger.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think
You can't always play it safe all the time.
and then in my job, you're always flirting with danger.
I mean, I think you need to flirt very carefully.
Yeah, no. You're flirting with danger.
Okay.
It's just
You're not courting danger.
no, you're not courting danger, but it's just always that. Hey,
That's
wait,
the way it is.
what mistake? What mistake? State capture commission. Yeah. So I think it's just that. I love that flirting with danger thing. That
So Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious is your guy. But it's the same It's the same thing. He's like a beast in the street, and then in his film, and he's like family
he was a
over
beast.
everything.
He was a beast for what movie? He was a beast for what movie? That man.
So the other one, he's what?
I don't know what the hell he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. He sees a person for one movie, then the next movie he's family. Like, you just met this man. He was just fixing your car. Over you exhaustive man, over you let's pay win. His family.
Okay, so do someone else. Like I Vin Diesel. Oh, but you did Bobby for 2 reasons though.
Yeah.
No, but someone else. You really can't think of anyone else fictional.
I don't watch a lot of series.
It doesn't have to be silly.
Gatsby.
Okay.
Cats.
Really?
Yeah, cats.
I don't like it.
Why?
Yeah, I think he's a.
Oh, so do you think I'm a...
No, you're not him.
Yeah, but I want to be him. So what do you
I
say?
want to be, unless, wait. Which parts of Gatsby do you like?
Hope. Like crazy amounts of hope. Like you're throwing these big parts.
Where do you draw the line between hope and delusion? Because there he's flirting with delusion, or he's flirting with something.
It's the flirting podcast. Flirting is used here. I think
No, that dude is okay. Maybe go
like
ahead.
he's made his money.
Okay. No,
Right.
he hasn't. That's the thing.
He's had access to money. He's had access to wealth, and he's got this lady who he likes quite a lot, and he throws these big things, and you're not throwing a party to celebrate. You're throwing at every party. You're not celebrating. Everyone else
But
around
here's
you.
why I'm saying he's a. No, let me explain why. Because you've explained why he's not, right? Let me tell you why. He knew exactly where that woman lived the entire time. And instead of going to the woman and saying, I want you now, he's throwing parties. What is that?
No, but remember, also he knows where the woman lives.
Yeah.
But he can't just rock up. Hence, even when he spoke to them, because the woman didn't come to the party, he realized that, hey, you're related to that woman. Invite her over. Because it's a private setting. Because that's a married woman. It's not like now.
And he brought
It's-
like a bunch of flowers.
It's not like now when you go to a married woman, you're like, I really like your ring. You know, it's not like now.
No. Okay, let me leave you here. That's your person. It's fine.
And he's not
Yeah,
perfect. Like he's strong in front of...
let me mention.
Yeah, like he's strong to the outside world.
Is he though?
He's this
Is he though?
confident. He's this confident figure to the outside world, or at least pretending to be.
Yeah.
And then he sees this woman in his clumps, and he's throwing his shirts at her. He's throwing clothes around.
Okay, my brother.
I love that.
I'll
I
accept
love
it.
that, man.
Okay.
I love that.
Hey, let's move on. Thank you. That was an interesting one. Next will be. Hey, now I look away after I've selected. Oh, okay. This one is more corporate. Okay. I wish I had a tie so I can adjust for this one.
Well, Lele.
What are the most important skills or traits for someone in your field to possess?
Huh.
Wait, did we?
I was just putting them here. So, in my field, I think I'll just talk about the 9toLIFE, man. Yeah, because I think it's follow up and it's patience. You need those. Yeah, you need to be persistent. You know, that is very necessary because you are trying to form relationships with people who have 40 other people trying to form relationships with them, you know, and all fighting for a relationship, you know, and you are going to clients and clients are diverse. So you need to be someone who understands people. You need to read what a person wants, you know, read what a no means, you know, in everything. Is this a real no, or is this we are out of money, you know, come back next financial year, you know, what does that mean? So you need to be able to read people and you need to have tenacity. I don't know. Your side?
On my side, I'm still answering the question, but I want to flip it slightly,
Okay.
if you will allow me.
Right.
So the question is, what traits are important to have in your field, right?
Yeah.
So I'm adding a bit to it to say, for you to be successful, or for you to be a standout person, and I'll answer it this way: accountants. My accountants, I love you guys. I love you. Accountants typically are people that tend to be more process driven rather than people driven. But the ones that make it, because you'll find a lot of times, Barry, the CEO of a company is a chartered accountant. The board, the more accomplished people in the world or in South Africa tend to be accountants. And like in the world, they tend to be accountants. Okay. But what sets them apart and what makes them succeed is that they are able to transcend the process part and focus more on the people part. You know? And that takes understanding that accounting is a tool, like I said. It's a language, right? If you focus too much on the language part of it and yeah, me, I'm Mr. Books, I'm Mr. Numbers, I'm Mr. Technical. You're not going to get as far as someone that says, okay, I've got this nailed down
Yeah.
to a sufficient proficiency.
So you're not forming.
Now I want to, exactly. Do you understand? Because if you stay that accountant, you're only ever going to be an accountant. And that's a sad reality. But if you want to transcend and move over to the management, the director positions, and you wanted to move up in your career, and it took me understanding this, because I also used to be very let's just do the work. We don't need to talk. We don't need to be friends. Give me work. I do my work. I leave. And it's good when you're starting out, but eventually you need to get to a point where you're like, okay, I've got that nailed down. What are all the other supplementary skills that I need to be working on for me to be able to elevate?
The soft skills. Soft skills, really soft skills for the soft life, for the corporate ladder climbing. Is it? Oh yeah, no, it's
Magnet.
yeah.
No, look away. Thank you.
Also, you understand the importance of looking away.
Now,
I don't want to ask this one.
why does it suck?
Let
me
now I'm
see.
gonna go back. I feel like it's been answered a bit.
Sort of, kind of, but maybe let's dive in.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
All right.
I think it could be interesting.
What is your favorite movie and why?
Can I also get and change that a bit? I can't. Okay.
But now you're gonna
My
give us a
favorite movie.
documentary.
No. I was gonna give you my favorite director, because I like his style of movie making.
Quentin.
It's not Quentin.
Oh,
It's Christopher Nolan.
okay. Why?
I like Christopher Nolan because when he thinks about making a movie, he's not just thinking about, let me entertain these people.
Okay.
He's thinking, I'm sure he sits back somewhere and says, how can I blow these guys' mind?
Yeah.
Like Inception, Interstellar, Prestige. Have you watched
The
the
first time
Prestige?
I saw Inception, I think I was with you. Yeah. Shout out Cage. Yeah.
It doesn't start now. He didn't start doing this when he was young.
Remember Kake sold me shoes, like those red, and I still have them. I still have those
Still
shoes.
has?
Yeah, and they still look nice.
Is it?
Yeah, because
You must wear them on the podcast.
I don't wear them. I shouldn't wear them at the podcast. Okay. Anyways,
Anyway.
Nolan.
It didn't start now when he started being big.
Yeah.
If you look at his first bunch of, I think the first one that I saw is Memento. Have you watched Memento?
No.
My man, do yourself a favor, please. Do yourself a favor, please, guys. Tell him, tweet him, DM him. Tell him to watch Memento. Tell him to watch
Can't
The
DM,
Prestige. Have you watched The Prestige?
No,
My guy. Okay,
True.
watch Memento and watch The Prestige.
Okay.
Let's start there.
Okay.
And it'll blow your mind. You're not just watching, okay, that's funny, action, whatever. He has all those elements, but he's also thinking, how do I blow?
Your
No. And I think you took it a bit far with the Tenet, the latest one, because that one I don't understand. That one I think, yeah.
Maybe
But Tenet.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one is too abstract for my small accountant brain.
You have watched this movie where this family moves into this very everything is the same there, and then the child is a bit kukunyana and wild, and then he ends up burying the parents, or the parents burying the child. It's crazy, and you'll never understand. No, it does not have kemaho. And there's only like 4 actors in the entire, like, they move into this place. It's like Bolin Properties, but it's huge, like,
Okay.
it's
And they're the
huge.
only people living in this huge thing.
Yeah, like it's
Okay.
it's crazy. But anyways, my favorite movie is,
Yes, please.
well, it is, but I've already spoken about it. So it's War Dogs.
Okay, I don't know it.
War Dogs in a, who's that guy Gonje Wako Wolf of Wall Street?
DiCaprio.
No, the other one, the chubby guy. He's a comedian. But yeah, so
It is set. No, that's it.
It sounds
Jonah
like
Hill.
Jonah Hill, my man. So I think that's a that's a procurement movie, but it's
When you're watching movies, you think about your job, my man.
but it's
I should have said my favorite movie is The Accountant, actually.
but I love the accountant.
Accountant is
Actually,
cool,
I
man.
like the
Yeah,
accountant.
it's cool. But you were typical accountant in the movie. You see,
Yeah,
the problem.
but- Oh, so that doesn't.
There's a problem. He doesn't move. He's been doing the same.
Chase on Monday, things on Friday, summer on Wednesday.
So no.
Born on
we are
Monday,
moving,
yeah.
We are moving. We are moving.
So, War Dogs, it makes procurement look fun. Yeah, it
War Dogs. I'll check it out. I haven't seen it.
it just makes it look so. It's these guys. It's based on a true story. These guys get a tender with the U.S. government to supply weapons.
Okay.
And let me not ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Let me not ruin it for you. So it's a tender movie. You think Nico Makala's Instagram is the only one? Is the only tender movie you'll see? You think it's Mamkhize only? No, there's War Dogs.
One of you get out.
No, you think it's Mamkhize? Wait, is it me? No. I picked this one. Yeah. Is it me? Yeah.
Oh.
Remember, I was like, now you see the importance of closing your eyes.
Let him go.
Take me home.
Okay. This one is also. Why am I choosing all the corporate ones?
Well,
How do you?
well,
How do you approach goal setting?
I think I've got a list. So every Sunday I've got a list of 3 things that must be achieved in every sphere. You know, what must I achieve as a father before the end, like the end of this week?
Let's talk about the agenda.
You know, and then with work, what can I do to get me further this week? What are these 3 things? You know, and yeah, that's just how so every year I also do it in 3s.
Okay.
So I've got
So
in my business. So it's family, it's work, it's business, and then I've added health this year.
Oh.
Yeah, this year I've just added health, and it's so I have the main goals, which where I will evaluate myself, but everything that I pick from the 3 weekly has to go to that. So if my main goal this year is I want to bench press 80 kgs, then this week it'll be 20.
That's
So I just
like
do that for like
book definition of, bite the way to eat an elephant is to take small bites.
It's actually from a book called Eat the Frog. I just forgot the author, which is, so also with that, it's do what needs to be
difficult
done
stuff
now.
first, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Do the difficult stuff now. So if in family, the difficult stuff is writing a 10-page note for the madam, you do that. If it's watching YouTube videos with my son, then I do that, then it's...
You watch Ben 10.
Not even Ben 10. They've crazy people. They've got these guys, right? I don't understand what's going on. Who play video games.
Oh, yes.
Then they watch the people playing video games. I bought him a monster of a gaming PC.
Yeah.
Like one that I would have loved to have as a kid. A serious gaming PC. And he watched people play games.
uses the gaming
PC to watch people play games. And then I was like,
I'm not buying a salon.
And then he misbehaved once when I sold it because I've been trying to get rid of it. So I put it on Gumtree. He misbehaved just a little bit.
excuse.
I was like, no. Anyway, that thing was insane. I wished it was mine, but I was like, time and whatnot. But yeah. But I love gaming. But anyways, you?
So, with goal setting, I need to do better there. It's a development area for me.
Okay.
And there's some history. So what happened is that things went well a bit for me very early on in my career.
Okay.
And that sort of caused me to take my foot off the brake, off the lifura a bit.
But what you could tell.
Off the
driver.
But we can parallel park, Baba. Parallel park, that long thing. King, Ellie Doki.
We parallel back. You are talking easier.
Anyway, so it made me take my foot off of the pedal a bit.
The accelerate.
The accelerator
the one on the
pedal.
right.
Yes, that one. So since, and then that had a detrimental effect on my career a couple of years ago. Wait. So since then, it made me not take the foot off the pedal. Right? So now I'm like, to the point where even when I tick the boxes that I want to tick, I don't have time to acknowledge those boxes because I'm thinking about, okay, what's the next? So what I need to do better on that specific one is to take some time in between ticking off the boxes, right? Because I feel like it sort of makes me sometimes not appreciate where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I'm always thinking about where I want to be.
Okay.
Which is not a bad thing in itself. It's just that it doesn't have to be either or. All things can be true. You see. So I need to do better there with my goal setting. I need to set goals, achieve them, take time to appreciate where I'm at, and then set the next goal.
So I think we are a bit different there, because with me, as I said, like I work in threes, and I'm always working towards a certain incentive. You know, it can be a little chocolate bar, and that's how I actually keep myself going. But you seem to be more motivated, and I've got little things to motivate me. Like I've got a nicotine addiction, and
You're trying to find another word for it, innit?
yeah, I shouldn't have another word. Like, because addiction is like, yo, it's like, oh, hey, no piss. You know, so yeah, and I say I'm not gonna smoke until I do these 2 or 3 things in the morning. You know, that I'm just saying, finish it, okay, smoke, bah. You know. So yeah, when you, on the other hand, you don't give yourself those moments. So maybe just give yourself a little nice thing.
Yeah, I need to.
Maybe get a nicotine addiction.
No, thank you.
Then you
brother.
can-
I'll leave that one to you. You don't have to share. No, you don't have to share everything, my brother. That one I'll leave it to you. Enjoy, enjoy.
It's right.
But yeah, I think that's why I'm saying, like, as I'm listening to you doing, because I've seen the videos, I've read the books that tell you how to do better in that.
Yeah.
So it's not like the knowledge is not there.
Motivated.
Yeah, not really, man. It's not that. But yeah, I'm not naturally motivated. It's not natural. Let me say it like, let me put it like this. It's not natural. I have to. You have to. People say to me, hey, you like studying? I don't. I hate studying. I hate it with a passion. But I want the lessons. I want the knowledge so that I can use it and apply it. So that's what I like the knowledge more than I hate the study.
So when you, like, what makes you wake up on a Saturday to study? It's just like...
It's like I know I have to do.
But
I know what the end goal looks like. And I know getting there is going to require these steps.
Okay.
So I plot out those steps, maybe not as meticulously as you do on a weekly basis, whatever. But I know eventually I need to have achieved this from a knowledge point of view.
So I'm easily distracted. So I need that, or one of that, always have it written down. You know, don't say, I want to get to Bloemfontein. Say, Ish, I want to pass Joburg. I want to, I need little milestones.
That's what the books and the videos and
But it's managing.
that's what they recommend.
And it's
Not
not
to push it
management.
like that.
Because you are self-aware, I'm self-aware. We know what we need to actually get it done, and it's different things. But
Yeah, and I think another thing that sort of I've come across this a lot with the people that I went to school with, right? So I went to school with people that are super accomplished, people that are typically what most people are working towards, right? When they think about, I need to go back to school, they're thinking, I want you to go back to school to become what you are now. You understand? And in your mind, or in my mind, let me speak about myself. When I saw these people in the class list, I thought, these people have it all figured out. these people
Wait, when was this? Like in with
21.
with your MBA? Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I thought you were talking about class like back then. So I'm like oh down. Okay, yeah.
So you look at the class list and you see CEO, CFO, financial director, regional manager, like all these things that you're like, okay, in the next 10 years I want to be you, right? And in your mind you think these people have it all figured out. You think these people can't be struggling with the things that I'm struggling with, right? Only to find when you interact and you chat with the people, these are men. We are all going through these things. We are literally all in the same boat. All of us.
CEOs, they've been conquered by
All of
God.
us. All of us. We have the most junior of employees, we have the most senior of employees, and we all have the same struggles.
You.
Bona. I'm phoning like a one. Yo, lenyora. No names. We're not saying any names. But yeah, so
I'm gonna check your con log.
no, we're done now. So it used to,
That's just what's happened. Okay.
So yeah, that was a long way to answer this question, but I think it's an important one because it shows
fine.
some area, and it shows that we are not perfect as well. We are also still working on ourselves, even as 9toLIFE. You guys might look at us and say, "Yo, those gens are perfect." We're not.
We're not. We're very fine.
And I wonder if anyone is actually looking at us and thinking we're perfect.
Nah, I don't think so.
Maybe I'm being ambitious.
Is it?
No, yeah, it's you
It's
picking.
me.
Yeah, it's you picking.
Okay. The one who closes their eyes.
Hey, wanna do?
Yo,
I hope it's a fun one. That one was a bit of a deep one.
I get all the fun. Do you have any hobbies? And if so, what are they?
I have a ton of hobbies.
Really?
And I think it deciding on which one I want to pursue seriously sometimes is the problem. But I'm a music guy. I've been making music since I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, is when I started making music. Not so much these days because obviously there's time commitments for serious things.
Yeah.
But I'm a big music guy. And recently, not recently, a couple of years ago, I took up golf.
Really?
Play golf as well, yeah.
Okay.
And I find time, yeah.
You pretentious little.
Yeah, let's see what's available. So we'll just leave.
Wow. You.
So I'll just mention those two for now. But there's a ton of hobbies. There's a ton of things that if I wish I had like 24-hour or a day could be a week in length. So I could do all the things that I want to do because my mind is very curious.
Okay.
I like learning about a lot of things. I have a very broad knowledge base of things that I draw from. And it reflects in what I want to do, that how I spend my time. One of them is making music. One of them is, I guess, the tech, sort of the line between tech and the arts is where I skate. Yeah.
What would I? I think for me it's writing.
Okay.
I really love telling stories through words, you know.
And you're good at it.
Yeah,
let me be the one.
thank you.
I don't know if they've told you before.
You've never given me a compliment before, my brother. Like I've known you for years, my brother. What are you right?
No, but you're good at it, and you know they say writing is the highest order skill, or is the highest way you can use your brain, because you are doing all these things that when you're reading, you are taking in.
Yeah.
Right. You are processing. You are analyzing. Right. That's if you are reading correctly, and then But when you're writing, you're doing all of that, and you are producing because you need to think about what you're saying. So I read it somewhere. I don't remember where, but I read it. They said writing is the highest form of using your brain power. So you're a superstar brain-wise.
I try. So it's writing,
Yes.
and I have a very struggling garden page. So I have started gardening. How I'm gardening though is I'm gardening without reading anything gardening related.
You're winging it.
I don't want to learn how to grow spinach from reading.
This agent.
I want to struggle. I want to know that this is how it works. Like I had no idea that you needed to keep the ground moist like almost all the time.
But what told you that? Your results?
What told me that was watering spinach, thinking, let me not water it
once a day.
Today.
Yeah.
Like I watered it quite a lot. And the spinach is there like and then you think, it's dead.
Yeah.
So telamentsinyana,
Okay.
and spinach reacts relatively quickly.
Okay.
So that's all.
And then you're like, it's fine.
They were confident. Then you leave it. And I was gardening like on a gradient.
Yeah.
So the spinach, that
They're
side
at
is
the
growing
bottom.
more. So now I have to okay, this is a mistake. It's such a small gradient.
Okay.
But it's water, so it's just and when the ground gets hard, it hardens, so it flows. So you
Yeah.
need to just pick it.
Yeah.
Like I've never gardened before.
Okay. Okay.
Well, Gokasi, we had I don't know, we just had these plants that grew.
Yeah.
And we
They just
watered
grew.
them. Like and you sometimes didn't even water them.
No.
So
So
now I'm
yourself.
growing spinach, and my goal is to eat the spinach that I've planted.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay.
So there is one by the gradient that looks
Bert
promising.
is also into. Bert is
Yeah, but
Bert is
really-
one of the persons. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the people that we've interviewed. You guys will meet him soon. He's
no.
also big. He's also big into.
Into
I don't know if big, but it's his hobby.
It is hobby.
It is hobby. You guys should.
What I'm
have a beer.
stressed.
Yeah.
you know, like sometimes at 1 in the morning,
Yes.
I'm watering my
That is wild, isn't it?
because my time to think.
Okay.
I'm playing music here. I'm
Okay.
watering the spinach. You know,
Okay.
it's the craziest thing, and I've lost half of my the supposed yield. Like I've lost half of the spinach. Some of it has died, but yeah, that's just what I'm doing, and a lot of reading as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that people say reading is a hobby. Is it a hobby though?
I think it's a hobby.
Or if you read like novels and stuff, I guess maybe. Yeah.
No, but I don't read novels.
What do you mean?
I don't do fiction.
Yeah, fiction. You don't.
Yeah,
you don't,
I don't
Okay.
read fiction.
Yeah, because I don't think of reading as a
Quite a
hobby.
lot.
Reading is
I think I can read true fiction.
like what can you? I guess you can, but no, it's fine.
No, but some people say swimming is a hobby and it's a survival
No,
skill.
which is exactly. You know.
You know,
That's
like
why
that.
I'm saying. Sound like reading. You read every day,
Uh,
whether it's your hobby or not. You read every day. You are reading something.
so it's not a hobby.
I don't know. Anishdi.
There are people who are running in the streets here, putting fitness.
Facts. That's why I
Don't-
was thinking.
Yeah.
It's like saying walking is a hobby, but there's
Yeah.
people that walk as a hobby. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a very blurry line for me.
It
Very
is, eh?
blurry. Like you can say walking is a hobby, but if you walk professional, but if you walk from here to the shops,
Yeah, but isn't hobby
pastime. It's a pastime.
pastime?
Yes.
And if it's something that you're intentionally doing
Yes, to
for
pastime.
fun or for
Yes.
yeah, I think
Okay. Okay, my
Ash,
brother. Hey,
Ash.
okay. Is it me? Yeah, it's me.
it's you.
Okay. The next question.
Ash.
Okay, this one is not too bad.
Ash.
Who has been the biggest influence in your career and life? You. This is an interesting one. Yeah. As you are speaking, I'm thinking career and life. Yes.
Kire is a client of mine who I won't name him.
Maybe we might have. him.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, is there beef now?
No, it is no beef.
Okay.
He's not comfortable with some people knowing that we know each other.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have
That's how soiled your name is in the streets, my brother. You be like, I don't want to associate it with you and only.
and we hang out quite a lot. But it's just
Okay.
I would see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't want to be on your social media.
Don't want to be on your
anywhere.
podcast. Nowhere.
Like would see, it's
That's
fine, you
the
know.
problem.
But yeah,
I think
so wait, what's the question?
Who has been your biggest influence on your
Yeah,
career and life?
Yeah, so it's him.
I don't know if there's a why element, but if you feel like mentioning why, you can.
Yeah, and it's him because he showed me that things are possible.
Okay.
You know, like what we're doing with this podcast,
Yes.
where we are like, here's this person.
Yes.
This is who they are.
Yes.
But this is where they're from,
Yeah.
and this is
what they've been.
yeah,
able to
this
do
is what
to
they've
achieve.
been.
Yeah.
And everything, it's just it's just a possibility. Like I'm sometimes feeling down, and then he says, "Eish, I'm tired. I wanna go somewhere. Can you come drive my car?" And I'm there like, yo, I have to give this back. Yo. I have to give this back. He's busy cruising at the back. The seats are massaging me. I know this is possible. You
Yeah.
know, it's another black child who has done this, and then this is possible. So it's that reminder. That I can if someone has done it and it's possible, if there's a flag at the top of Mount Everest and climbing it is possible. Yeah, so it's just that for me.
Lovely. And I love that question because it speaks to the heart of why we started this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because for me, the answer is sort of aligned to yours but different. In that, or let me say it's sort of opposite.
Have you seen your face when you answer questions?
I have not. What do I look like? I don't look like that.
Like, yeah, no, you can tell already. Yeah, all right.
You can tell what,
I'm
but I
looking
can't
at you
see
now.
myself.
You watch the episode. God, you're fetching the thought from far.
My brother, I want to make sure that, especially when the point is important,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that it comes out.
Yeah, tonality.
Because sometimes, not just tonality, sometimes it's very clear in my mind,
Okay.
but I want it to be as clear in my mind, especially for the important ones. Yeah, I want it to be as clear to them as it is in my mind.
Yeah.
The ones that I consider important, by the way. Anyway.
God, was have you ever seen when it wants to sound deep? The zebra and the tsetse fly. Do you know why the tsetse fly has got stripes like this? It's not to hide against the background.
I watched that video
It's
recently,
hide
actually.
against the herd. Kana, you're about to. Kana, you're about to.
No, shout out to Vusi Tembegwayo. Vusi Tembegwayo came to our, when I was at, okay, let's start for another day. Remind me another time.
He came to talk to you about tsetse flies.
No. He was a super inspirational dude because when I was 24, I think he was 29.
Oh, okay.
You know, and he came to speak at we had a work thing. It was like a orientation thing for work.
Yeah.
For a new position that we had started, and there was a bunch of us there, and then he came to speak to us, and then he told us, some would say it's bragging, but for me it's like,
Tsetse fly.
no, he didn't talk about Tsetse Fly. He spoke about what he had and what he had achieved at his age. And for me, a lot of people will look at that and say, we are so whatever. I don't always, obviously there's some times where that happens, but what I took from what he was telling us was the whole is possible thing. Because, and let me just get into answering the question, man.
Do you still like him? Do you still like him?
I do. I like elements of him. There was a time where I was a bit disillusioned because I think I pedestalized him a bit from that first encounter with him. Because 29-year-old and he's already he had a 650 or 645 at the time.
Oh, okay.
And he modified it, and my man, he was a monster. And you know how he speaks, how he presents himself. In my mind, he became this, something to aspire to. And then that took away from me how I looked at him. I looked at him as more than just a dude.
I think we all had that with
right.
Because yeah.
So when there was stuff that was going on, and then stuff that was happening that I didn't really approve of, it sort of caused me to have a conflict within me to say, like the disappointment was like 10 times because he was so
it hit
perfect.
you. It was when did you have a pussy poster? Did you have a pussy poster in your bedroom, sir?
No, I really like the dude. I followed him very closely, and I think that I recently started to come back to him. As thought-provoking and realize, no one is perfect. And like again, the context that I gave you, these people in my class that you thought are, big people and they have it figured out. We're all just trying to figure it out, man.
We're all zebras in one
all
big
zebras
herd.
in a tsetse fly. So yeah, I actually and I really, really liked his interview that he did with Penwell Mlojo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to Penwell. Shout out to Vusi as well, man. Because he sort of, I think Lena, he's starting to peel off the layers a bit and bring out the Vusi, not Vusi Tembekwayo, not VT. He's starting to bring out Vusi Tembekwayo.
Yeah, but he changes accents when he's angry.
He does.
Like
Musi.
No, Musi fakes an accent. Musi
No, he doesn't
sounds
fake it. He
like how he
sounds like
thinks.
who he's speaking to.
No, but when he's no, but with Vusi, it's not about. He sounds the way he thinks that a dangerous person should sound like.
Okay.
He is purchasing a tech. With Musi,
he tries to relate. He tries to be relatable. I don't know which one it is.
But it's not like an emotion.
Okay.
Have you
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
so
understand
with Vusi, it's like Okay, so I'm gonna do man. And then what's that when we'll try a liga, be Zulu, and like yo, dude, you was Zulu, like now, but okay. Hey, yeah,
Anyway,
we're gonna get this podcast in trouble.
Do I want to?
We're gonna get this podcast in trouble. Yo, did you answer the question?
I didn't even answer the question. Let me answer the question. For me, it was the opposite because I'd look around and I'd look for people that look like me and have done what I've done. And it's not that they don't exist. I just did not have proximity to them. Where I'm from. We're from the same place. You don't meet a lot of people that are established accountants, business people.
You meet that guy who was supposed to be an accountant, Bamoloy.
You understand? And we meet a lot of tenderpreneurs, and we meet a lot of criminals that make it through those ways, right?
Yeah.
We don't meet a lot of people that like for instance, our white counterparts, when they go home for Sunday lunch, at that Sunday dinner, they are discussing career moves, how to deal with certain things, how to think strategic. They tell you, if you deal with your boss like this and you do this and that.
Yeah.
They're discussing things that move them forward because, right, their parents have gone through that. Our parents have not. My mom is a teacher.
Same.
My dad worked. My mom is a teacher.
Yeah.
Why don't I know this?
I don't know. My mom's been a teacher for years.
Did you know my mom is a teacher?
Yeah, I knew your mom's a teacher.
That's wild. Okay. And then my dad worked for an explosives company, but an engineering hands-on role, like bomber artisan type role.
Okay.
They didn't sit in boardrooms. They didn't sit. They didn't deal with the things that we had to deal with now in our career. So we don't have that reference. We're figuring it out. We're the first generation to. Let me not put all of us in that second.
Yeah.
I am in the first generation that's figuring all of that out. And we started this podcast because we wanted to cut that sort of thing, because where we come from, you will know there's a lot of people that are still. Why are you smiling?
I'm going to bother you a bit.
Why? That's right.
What's your view about us leaving the hood? And do you think we can inspire these kids through once a month visits?
Oh, that's a very loaded question, and there's no simple answer to it.
No.
And in the way you asked it, you already sort of said something about how you feel about the question. But I feel like you need to pay the school fees for you to be able to play the game to change the game.
Okay.
Right. I feel very strongly about that, because there are people that say, I won't compromise myself.
Yeah.
And that keeps them at the level that they're at. Right?
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Someone will say, I want to help. I'm fighting for the needs of the poor.
Yeah.
Right? But he's fighting at this level. Right?
Okay.
Whereas if you think more strategically and put yourself at this level so that your fight can have a bigger influence, my brother.
It's in the boardrooms.
Do you understand?
It's not in the locker room.
Not in the in the where you're with the supervisors and you want to fight for the poor. They're at that level. I'm not saying don't do it, and we can't all elevate, of course, right?
Okay.
But I think if you have an opportunity to grow so that your actions can have bigger influence, use that, my man. Okay. I think more people need to think. I don't think enough people. Let me put it like that. I don't think enough people are using that sort of thinking to say, pay the school fees now.
Yeah.
So that you can get yourself to a position where your influence is bigger. It's like someone that's like a millionaire cooking food for the people in the home. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
But at your level, your influence is bigger than that single home.
Okay.
Your ability to influence or your potential to influence is bigger than you sitting there and doing the cooking itself.
You sit with other companies, their corporate social responsibility budgets, channel them here.
To that level.
Okay.
For people that are at that level, they do the best that they can. We're not at that level, that's not the best you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I said a lot of things.
How?
Okay, so to answer your question, I feel like we left Darcy because my biggest and we have different reasons, but my biggest reason was a safety thing. You will know in 2016,
Yeah.
I got shot.
Yes.
Story for another day.
Yeah.
A month before
9
my son
bullets.
was.
It was what?
It was a month before my son was born, and that had an influence on me because I wasn't in any rush to leave Kasi before then.
Sure.
I was comfortable. I was fine because I didn't feel like, and my views have changed, but I didn't feel like where I'm from necessarily influenced who I was. That's how I used to think then. But now, definitely where you're from does influence who you are. I mean, that's where you grew up. But then I was like, doesn't mean that I can't do ABC. Which I think the intent behind it was noble, but I don't know, maybe the thinking was flawed. But we leave Gasi because we look around and we know that there's better out there.
Yeah.
So we want to get better and do better for our family.
Respect how I find.
Yeah.
Somebody outside. Like
Kuka
such a simple-
shaka hauna fiber.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
hauna fiber. Unless mocking people correct me. Hauna fiber go make it. Even now, 2022, 2023. Hauna fiber. These are
And that's
basic at this
access
point.
to info that is no
Everything.
no.
Right? So they have to get slower, more expensive internet. Whereas they're the ones that need the cheapest internet most.
Yes.
Which is funny,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They're lines and they are anyway.
I
It's
just
a,
feel
it's
like
a very
it's
controversial
a-
question that you're asking.
It's a system that historically was meant to disadvantage us in structure. And I do think that proximity matters. Proximity broadens your mind, but then
Absolutely.
proximity also opens up opportunities. You
because
know,
you're right, and we speak about this a lot as a joke on the podcast to say most of us, our parents said you need to be a doctor, lawyer,
Yeah.
accountant. Because why? That's all they knew. They didn't
Yeah.
know there's a marine biologist,
yeah,
right? Because they've never met, they don't even know there's something called a marine biologist, you know? There's something called a business development manager, for instance. If you ask someone, Bokasi, what is a business development manager? And they've never met that.
yeah.
How do you even expect them to answer that question?
Huh.
You understand?
I get
So for me, this podcast, circling back to this being one of the biggest reasons why we started this podcast was a way for me to say, yes, I could go to Dacia, I can speak to 10 people and say, my man, try and mentor, coach, whatever. This was for me an opportunity to say, where I'm at, I have an opportunity to influence on a bigger level than just speaking to 10 people about Dacia.
Okay.
Now I can speak to 10 people from each Dacia in South Africa. Hopefully they watch it.
Tembisa, Soweto,
Everyone. Alex, Sosha, Alice, Mami, Lodi, Peli.
we got it.
Yes. So yeah. The biggest influences in my life have not been people that have been close to me. To answer the original question now, they've not been people that have been close to me. They've been I'm on the internet a lot. I'm on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that I watch on YouTube for different aspects. Gary V comes to mind.
Hey, I love Gary.
Patrick Bet David comes to mind.
Okay.
Do
Do you like Grant Cardone?
I like Grant Cardone, but I don't, not like the two that I mentioned before. He's
Okay.
cool. I think it's cool, but I'm not in love with him. Who else comes to mind from YouTube now? I'm trying to think of the big people.
There's that Noah guy. Do you watch Noah? What's his?
Harari.
I actually play his podcast. Is it Noah Keegan?
Okay, I don't mind.
He's a bald guy. I like his podcast as well. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, that was a long
Yeah, no. It
question.
became other things. It became other things.
It developed.
Yeah, no. That's
And you guys will see this in the podcast. We'll have a certain way that we want in our minds the episode to appear. But then as we speak and we have conversations with these people, with the people that we have on the podcast, it moves in a certain direction. And I think it's more enriching to let it go there naturally, because we get to explore what's important to the people that we are trying to extract this value from.
yeah.
Let's go.
Wait, so now it's
Me giving you. Okay. Next question. Yeah, I hope it's not a funny one.
How do you approach work-life balance?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Your favorite question. I approach, and I think I sort of answered it in one of the episodes, but it's fine. My approach to work-life balance is there's certain things that I don't compromise on, and I when I get to my stakeholders or my principals, I let them know here we can't. I'll give you an example. My son started a new school after KFL at 5:30.
Sure. Okay.
And simultaneously, my partner, started working longer hours. Just coincidentally, it all happened at the same time. Which means I have to fetch my boy every day. Usually, people that have worked with me will tell you, I'm not the first person out the door. I'm the person that says we stay until we finish what we need to finish.
Yeah.
This is how it's always been in my career. But now if I don't fetch my son, who's going to fetch him?
So that's cheap.
I have to leave. It is 4:30. Again, I will say, mang or you need is the guy.
Okay. Yeah.
I can push it, let's say, I'll push it to about 10 to 5.
Okay.
10 to 5 latest, I need to leave. I don't care. Last we were in a meeting with our auditors, and I had to leave. I have to leave.
Yeah.
Who's going to fetch my boy? I leave. So, but that was communicated. I didn't just start on some random day and said, hey, I need to leave and fetch my son. No, I said, listen, this is the situation.
Yeah.
I have to fetch my boy on such and so. And how it works is that it's 3 days in a row where I have to be the one that fetches him, and then 2 days my partner can fetch him.
Oh,
Right.
I get you.
On those 3 days, my man,
Is that it?
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. There's no other way. Anything else, if we really need to be talking, or if there's really something that another thing that I like about my career, going back to a previous question, is that things are so intense when you start working that you develop this intensity as well for working. There are people that never work beyond 5 o'clock, and their careers have never required them to do that. So when they are forced to do that, it becomes a thing. For me, we've always been expected. There's an unwritten expectation that you must work overtime. You have to work overtime, right? And that has sort of conditioned me to be fine with working long hours. In fact, I find that I'm able to keep up the level of productivity even late into the night. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I can still push at the same intensity. There are some people that say, now when it starts being 10 o'clock, my brain starts to shut down. My brain doesn't work like that. Yet I can continue.
So your work-life balance includes working at 10.
So go back to the work-life balance. Work-life balance, it looks different for people at different parts of their career, different careers, different parts of their life. So for me, what it involves is that having things that you don't compromise on, so that's balance more towards the life part. And then there are things where you just have to get them done. So getting them done involves you working after hours. It involves you working on weekends. It involves you missing some stuff, some family events that happen, So it's not a thing that you balance once and leave.
Yeah.
To say, now it's balanced. It's a thing that needs constant tweaking.
Okay.
Depending on the situation, depending on the time, depending on who requires your attention, also depending on your ambition.
Okay.
Right? If you are at a point where you are saying, the level where I'm at, I'm fine. I don't need to elevate beyond this. Then you can do the bare minimum and be fine. Bare minimum means ki kena ka 8, ki tswa ka 4. And don't call me like there are people that block their
The work-related things.
they block their colleagues and managers from their personal phone to the point where, you can give me a work phone, but this still works for work hours.
JT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you call me at 6:30, I will not answer. And it's not like now I'm not gonna go on WhatsApp so that you see I'm online. No, I'm online.
Yeah.
I'm just not online for you.
I'm not reading.
I'm online for my things. Yes, I'm online.
I'm done with
You see, so and I guess maybe there are some people that still elevating their career, but I think elevation in your career sometimes requires you to go beyond. And most of the time it requires you to go beyond what's the bare minimum of what you expected, because you need to show that you've mastered this level, and sometimes that involves you doing extra, I guess, to show that you are ready for the next level.
I get you. So
Because the next level usually is these responsibilities that you've always had, but more or plus more. You know, so it requires you to sort of add more effort, spend more time.
work-life balance. You know, with me, it's so there are these things. There's family.
The
And-
three things that you mentioned.
It's family,
Yeah.
it's work, it's business.
Yes.
You know, and what I did is it's already hard balancing work and business. So with the business, there is a man who approached me asking me for a job, and he had way more experience in the business than I did. So I say to him, listen, you've been doing this for a very long time, and you've been doing it at manager level. So I would rather, and maybe this is because the business is not, it's not a Microsoft, but I said, I'm going to give you 50% of the business if I don't need to be there for the day-to-day running of it. We will meet, I will give advice, I will, but I will manage oversight, and then you manage day-to-day running, and what that allows is that my entrepreneurial spirit is still there, but I'm not in the dungeon. I am doing just an oversight role, which means I have more time for my because I've got a demanding job as well. And what you said about your non-negotiables, I actually find it hard to do that. And with me, it's not because those things are not important. It's just that it sometimes becomes impossible to do my job if I'm not available for it. So I've got my drop-off child at school, and after 7, prioritize family. With my youngest kid, with the 2-year-old, I do need to give that one. Every day we are sitting, we are doing activity. It can be for an hour or whatnot. That one needs to be spoken to. His work needs to be checked every day. So those are things that need to be done. But I also think because my job is you're a lone ranger, essentially, it does give me that freedom where I don't need to consult or talk to a team saying I'm going to fetch my son. I plan all my appointments. So even when I'm working until 10 o'clock, like 4, I have done this, I've done that, and it's just very, very flexible. I usually report weekly on what I've done. So it allows me to take my daughter to the doctor on a random Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So that's how I actually manage it. But I've had to sit down with my family and say, in as much as you guys are very alive during my working hours, and there are sometimes things that I have to do for you guys because they are urgent at that time, during working hours, you must not also have any beef if things from work are sometimes coming during what's supposed to be family time, just to maintain that balance. Because they'll always, my daughter can get sick, my partner can get sick during working hours, and what do I do about that? If that one's naughty at school, or he got injured at school, that needs to be attended to right now. But in the same breath, they must understand, and they must understand that we've got
emergencies at work as well.
Yeah, and we have a business, and that is taxing. So I'm very lucky that my partner understands that I've got these other things, and he doesn't mind because he's now a 50% owner of a business that was already functioning. You know, yeah, and yeah, and that's how I run it. Delegate.
Delegate.
Delegation.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question, this one. Let's move on to the next one, because we can speak about it. Sorry. Let me go to the bottom. Aye, man.
You figure up 2, baby.
Is this a blank? Okay. When was your first job? This one is pop.
My first job, I was...
Wait, when we say job, are we saying anything that paid you? Or like job, proper job, or what?
Nolan manager.
Okay.
Company,
this one is pop.
Lilo. So I was a driver. I was a driver.
A messenger.
Courier driver. I used to deliver
Oh.
parcels.
Okay, I didn't know that.
There's a division, post office called Speed Services, which is post offices attempt at competing with more Korea Eat and then whatnot, you know. So it's the same day, overnight deliveries, not those letters that take months to arrive, you know. So they tried when I shipped them.
Wait, how it tried? Is it not operational anymore?
I'm not too sure. I'm seeing a lot of people that I used to work with have moved to other companies and stuff. So I'm not sure.
What's the terrible company, my brother?
Yeah, your net was terrible, man. Your net was terrible. So I was the driver for the Woodmead and Santon area. So this was something that I did. I was always hustling. So even while studying, I used to have a job, and I wasn't studying part-time. You know, I was studying part-time, but...
Well, yeah, I think your varsity life needs a separate episode.
So yeah, it was a holiday job.
Okay.
And then I'd do it during weekends as well. So I had a very old Hilux because it wasn't cars owned by the company. Owned by the company, but they were owner drivers.
So they were doing what Takealot is doing now for like years ago. Wait, how long ago was it?
Yeah. Quite. I think almost every Korea company is doing this. So this was back in 2013. And
That's so long ago.
I've been doing it from like 2008. So yeah, I was the driver there.
Okay.
Training.
Fella, you were working in the Santon area.
Yeah, I was working in the
so you had to.
You know, I don't bash and the receptionist, because when you're delivering to companies, you know, your first point of contact, get the receptionist. It's always fire. No, it's always fire. Yeah, no.
They have the power.
Yeah. And the car sometimes doesn't start, so you back at a steep. We forget go reverse, kickstart. Yeah, no, that was my first job. Yours?
Wait. I'll mention two because the other one. Okay, let me just. Yeah, okay. So my first job was a waiter. I was a waiter.
You?
Yes.
Okay.
I was a waiter at a Spur Yago Festival.
You are good with people.
No, that's why I'm saying.
It isn't giving you. It's like, you are good with people.
I worked there for a month. No, it was during holiday, so I worked there for 3 weeks, and I just didn't go back. No, but those guys were exploiting us. We did not have salary.
It's not salary.
No, we were literally being paid by tips.
Is this
Literally, and it was a pooling system, and you weren't getting tips on a daily basis. I think it was weekly or once every 2 weeks or something.
So everyone tips get pulled. Even the guy who's rude to clients gonna be earning the same amount as you.
Pull, and then they pay at a certain time. At that time, you can't even audit, my man, to say, I know from this client, 2 weeks have gone by, it's over now. So whatever they give you, you take. This was my second year in varsity.
How much was it? Like, what's the?
I don't remember.
What's the amount that you remember?
I don't remember, but it was fine for a second year student.
Okay.
It was fine. It wasn't like great, like I can buy Jordans now. Yeah.
Get really special go festival one.
Yes. So that was the first one. That one, yeah, that's why I'm saying it didn't really count. My first actual job was at a call center for a company called Quest but working at Standard Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, that one.
What do you mean that one?
I'll tell the story another time, actually, because it's a long story. But yeah, long story short, I got fired.
You're fired.
I was fired.
No, no.
I'm telling you.
Can I just get
I got,
Can you just tell us where you were fired?
no. It's gonna take long, my man. We need to move.
All right. It's fine then.
Yeah, we need to move. Yeah, hey, that was very, very interesting.
Do you want to answer this?
No, I had not.
It's not popping. It's
How
not, pop-
did this even make
it's not popping this question, my man. Wait. maybe you might finally have a chance to explain why you got fired. What is the biggest mistake you have made or in your career, and what lessons have you learned from that?
Shit, I think I sort of answered it, but maybe let me go a bit deeper. So I think my biggest overall mistake that I made in my career, and I want less people to commit this mistake, because a lot of us commit this very same mistake.
Okay.
We play small in our working environments because I'm new. Imposter syndrome sometimes kicks in. So you play small, but you find as you develop in your career, the people even that you find yourself or gravitating towards are the people that stand up. And here's the trick: they're not even right all the time. They're just the ones to say,
They're raising their hand
"Ma'am, let me try."
and they're being noticed.
Do you understand? So I think that's the biggest mistake overall. Obviously, there's been mistakes here and there, but when I look back and say, what could I have done better? That's how I'm choosing to answer your question, by the way. What could I have done better in my career? It's to put my hand up more and not think too much about what people will think about me, because
Yeah.
it doesn't really move the needle, that what people think about you in terms of wrong. I think I also had a fear of being wrong.
Oh, okay.
So combine those two things as a deadly combination. It makes you revert into your cell in situations where, and no one, I mean, every now and then you'll have those exceptional people that might recognize the potential and try and pull it out of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are not gonna nganga you, my man, to come out of your shell. If you want to be in your shell, people will leave you right there in your shell. So yeah, I think
Sure.
that's the short answer.
I think I'm going to answer it differently with my biggest mess up. So in this career, I'm still new because I was just doing business, fairly. And then lockdown happened and the company said, let us hire you, And I think the biggest mistake that I made was not having a mindset shift quick enough. Because moving from an environment where you're not accountable to anyone, and now you're working for someone else's company and you're accountable. I remember we had a project outside of Gauteng, and there were some stakeholders that I didn't trust in that project. And it was in a community where I could not monitor anything. And I hired someone to do informal background checks on those people and promised him that, I'll talk to the company will pay you. Because I'm thinking it's such a good idea. There's no way that they would not pay. And yeah, so that guy ended up being a vigilante, called those people that I didn't trust. No, he didn't. Like, he was just interrogating them, and then they call my bosses like, who's this person? Like, the owners of the company, who's this person? And this person is like, I've got to deal with Bonisile. I've got to deal with Bonisile. And they ask me, I'm like, yeah, I do have a deal with him. It's a very good idea, because those guys, are trying to, just screw us over, And I made an executive decision because of I did not have time to have a back and forth. I needed to act now, So I promised them quite a relatively small amount of money.
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry. A couple of
I will sort it out.
I'll sort it out. I'll talk to finance. I'll send you the money. I still don't know what happened with that issue.
I was just fizzled out.
They just removed me from the project and we never spoke about it. And I had to pay that guy.
From your own budget.
Yeah, I had to pay him from my own pocket.
Jeez, I guess it was a painful lesson.
It was a very because I can really, are you HR? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, and I'm from an environment where if something doesn't feel right, I can act now. Because there's 9 to 5, and you're also running a business, and in my business I can do as I please, and just that shift doesn't come, and I was just there. And you're representing the company, so you can't represent the company with a small boy attitude. So if you're like, I'll pay you. I'll pay you. It's fine, I'll pay you.
That's the rationale.
Yeah, I know. You can't come with a small boy attitude there of, hey, I'll still need to talk to Makbang, So it taught me quite a lot because it was a cheap lesson, that one, but hey, it could have been more expensive. So now I ask for permission more, and but there's still that thing, this is gonna waste time, but I'm unlearning it.
But I think in the working world, you understand as a company how, and you'll adjust, man. Like, you'll adjust. You'll adjust. There's nothing else I can say because you look at it and you say, me, I would do it like this. There's a lot of things that we look at even in our companies that we say, if this was my company, I wouldn't run things like this.
Yeah.
But you understand that there's politics, there's egos, there's ranks, there's protocol, there's procedures that.
And you're not responsible at the end of the day. If your decision messes up, like if that person had done something, it'll not really be Bonisile, Yeah. So hey, we need to come back.
Okay.
I think we can do 2 more. Yeah.
2 more, ne?
Yeah.
There's one that I'm hoping for, man, and it's not I'm for.
I might take it. I hope.
Damn, this is a tough one. What's your definition of success? It's tough for me. I don't know about you.
It's very difficult because I lived my whole life thinking of success as money. A certain amount of money. So, but now it's, I want to have a happy family and have a Porsche 911 Turbo. I want to achieve my goals at work and have a Porsche 911 Turbo. I want my sister to know that she's loved and have a Porsche 911 Turbo. So that's the only constant. But success for me, it's
a 911 Turbo.
My kids knowing that I'm loved, fetching them from school every day, and having
kids knowing that they are loved.
Yes.
You are loved.
Know that they are loved.
Okay.
And having a life that allows me to be in their lives. It's making a difference. People saying I am here because of Bonisile. Hey, there he is in his Porsche 911 Turbo. So it's a happy home.
Yeah.
A
loving family.
A loving family.
And a 911 Turbo.
And a 911 Turbo.
I like that. It makes it uncomplicated.
But it's complicated.
That's the thing. And my answer.
That 911 Turbo.
My answer is that success will look different depending on where you are. It's hard for me to look at the ultimate success because I don't know what that looks like. I can only tell you what success looks like in a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 max.
Yes.
Right. So success for me over the next couple of years will be obviously career progression, my business getting off the ground. Why am I saying this on the pod?
Good dude. If I can do it. He just said something he wasn't supposed to say. That's why there was a dude.
So yes, that second one. Obviously, a strong family structure, which I don't think people not prioritize, but think about in that manner too much, because a lot of us think, and I used to think like this as well. We think family is just gonna fall in place, my man.
It does.
All we need to do is just be with each other, spend, and then everything's gonna fall into place. But I think being more deliberate about setting goals for us as a family, what we need to achieve as a family, and that's immediate family, that's extended family. I think that's definitely something that's over the past couple of years I started thinking about more. So that maybe might be the only one where I'm saying we can look at a long-term definition of what it looks like.
And adulting teaches you that, because as a kid, you build relationships by people coming to you. You know, your relationship with your parents is because they are coming to you. And now, when you move from that, and you are actually now having to put in that work.
You see, so first of all, success will be divided into the different spheres of life that you want to define. You define it as family, work, and business, and fitness and health. Yeah. For me, maybe there's also I'll put myself in there somehow to say, I want to see myself grow and develop. Outside of my career, outside of my business, just me as a person, I want to see myself grow and develop. So I'll add that. So success will look different on, first of all, these different 5 spheres, and secondly, where you are at the current moment. And I don't know if defining it right now is useful, but again, healthy family, healthy life body, healthy mind, a high salary and high profits.
Would the 19-year-old you believe, Hore, you think success is a healthy family and this and that? Because we used to have these crazy
19-year-old me just wanted a car and a house, and he didn't even think too much about the money element. Where all of this is going to come from. He just said, I want this car. Let me see. You know what my dream car was when I was 19 actually? A C230.
Okay.
The Mercedes-Benz, the coupe thing.
Okay.
Remember that C-Class, the W203. 203. But the coupe. Yes, that. There was one go MGI. Because when I was 19, I was going MGI. There was one green.
A student's one.
MGI never dog.
There's this girl there. CLS 500 coupe.
Yeah.
A driver.
Yeah.
Would park there, leave it running the whole day, reading a newspaper until she finishes class.
But that's unnecessary. Leave it running.
Again, he's feeling hot. And he's not working for a poor family. So the driver would just chill in the car all day. I'm your mates. We need to have a driver actually on the show as one of the guests, because I don't have that patience. Like, how do you sit the whole thing? Yeah, but I was not waiting for other people. I was delivering packages. But just waiting for, karate lessons. And then please, hi.
I mean, one of the things that will be apparent in this podcast, and we hope to pull it out of the people that we interview, is the type of personality traits that are required for your career.
Okay.
And because we can't all do the same job. Like you are saying, you could never be a driver, right? I don't think I could be a teacher.
But I can be like a career driver. That I could do well, because it has movement. I'm not waiting. Yes.
I don't think I could ever be a teacher.
Okay.
And for similar reasons as you, because that requires an extraordinary amount of patience. Extraordinary. Like, imagine you're explaining to someone. And I think for me, the burden there, or the extra layer, is that I've always been one to get things very quickly. Like, I'll read it and I understand it. And then the expectation is that you should also read it.
What
and you should. Why are you not understanding this thing? Like, let's just read the words. Nah. But clear. And
Okay.
You see, so yeah, it takes certain personality traits, and I think that's why we asked that question to our guests. What does it take for someone in your career to be successful? We're hoping that not just the soft skills, the technical skills, but also the personality traits come out.
Yeah. No, so we're gonna do the last
question for now.
But I think we will have another session like
Yeah,
this.
we definitely need to. We definitely didn't cover all the things that we needed to cover.
They
There's one that I'm hoping for, and I hope you choose it.
flow.
Kind of loving. Yeah,
So I guess we need a song about the show.
you need a sangoma on
The show.
actually.
On the show. Hey, my brother, you will forgive me without the audio. Nah, fuck it. Nah, fuck it. Nah, fuck it. Nah, fuck it. I'm not asking this.
Yeah, no. Why? How did this make it into the question list?
Let's try it. Oh, good. But no, we've already kind of touched on this. Remember when we were explaining why we wanted Toti?
Let's get into it.
Okay, but it's the final question actually. I think it should work as the
Actually,
final
right?
question. Yeah.
Yes.
So the question is, what inspired you to start 9toLIFE?
Podcast. We did. You're right. We did get into one major part of why we started this podcast, right? And it was to say, a lot of people don't have, and I also experienced this, right? When I was studying, I met a lot of people outside of the profession that I usually choose. So historically, the people that were my closest friends, people that I interacted with the most, are other accountants or other auditors, because those are people that I have proximity to. But now I have a friend who's a mining engineer.
Yeah.
I never thought, like, I never even in my mind considered, oh, I'd have a mining engineer friend, right? I have a friend who's a electrical engineer,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I have a friend who's all my friends are engineers.
I was about to say your friend who's a DJ, but it's the same person as well as.
There's him too.
Yeah.
What is some? I think he's a mechanical engineer. I have a friend who works in HR, you know? So, and I've been relatively privileged, right? I can't say I come from like the poorest of poorest backgrounds. Yes, it's Wakasi, but it wasn't like, you know, like the poorest of the poorest. So even for me, coming from that, I only got to experience certain people. Like for instance, like I said, when I was studying my BCom accounting, I did not know any accountants personal, any chartered accountants. I had never even met a chartered accountant in my life, yet I am aspiring to be this thing. How do you even know whether you are a fit for this thing?
Yeah.
You understand? How do you know if you want to be? And I think the expectation for you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life as an 18, 16-year-old is tough. It's a tough burden to put on a child that young, because they don't even know who they are most of the time.
And they might not know until 40.
True. But you are supposed to know at 16 that you want to be a doctor for the rest of your life. You understand? Because remember, it starts with your subjects that you choose from grade 10, which is what, 16?
Yeah.
You know? So what I'm hoping to achieve with this podcast is that, you know, people should know whether, first of all, the thing that they're thinking about is for them. They need to know what are the options that are out there available for them, what that looks like. And I think another huge reason was, I don't want to finish all the reasons for you now, so I'm closing it. Another huge one was, again, to be able to see someone that looks like you. That is an accomplished, you know, high performing person. But also for you to understand that this is just a person. That's why that's why for me, when I thought about this concept of this podcast, it wasn't just 9 to 5. That's why the life was important, so that we can show that this person has walked the same journey that you have walked. There's nothing, maybe every now and then there'll be exceptional, highly exceptional people. But for the most part, 80-90% of us, we're just normal people that the stars aligned and we put in the work and things happen for us. So I want to also humanize. I use this word a lot.
I mean, just stealing my answer, my man. How are you not going to steal answers if you're talking for 10 minutes?
I'm glad. So we wanted to humanize the people to say, this is a person. Yes, he's a superstar in terms of what he's done. But he's a everyday guy next door, and it is possible for you to get there as well. That child is possible.
I think this is difficult to answer as the second person. Because we have sat down and we had the same vision of why we're starting 9toLIFE, but it really is about humanizing, and to show that these people are not perfect. He has also failed grade 10. He has, she also sucked at this and that. She also didn't know.
Yeah.
Like
what she wanted to do.
But when you are talking, you're talking without.
I'm busy.
That's something that I'm passionate about, my brother. So,
God.
That's 9toLIFE. That's 9toLIFE. So, yeah. So it's that thing that they are people like you. They are people like me, and they are not perfect, and they're not where they are because they had it figured out. Some did and some didn't. And that might be you. I want you to see successful people that look like you, that speak like you. And that's why we are very deliberate. But I also want you to know that success is not only in these big careers, these big careers with very good PR and very good props, kokas. There's so much more that you can do. And even though it's important to make your own mistakes, but there are other people who have made mistakes that you can avoid, and a selfish part of that is also networking. I think for my job, it involves a lot of networking. And if we have people that are, I know someone from this company, then you've got just that connection, and it comes across. So this is quite a good networking platform, And I think that's why even when we were speaking, we want to have networking events with our guests, just that space where we can exchange ideas. I sell drills, you make drill bits. That's just the top of my head, but
I sell drills, you make drill bits.
You make drill
so you
bits.
make them for me to sell them.
we're gonna sell a combo. We're gonna create a combo. We're gonna approach Builders Warehouse as a team. We're gonna do a combo now.
Interesting.
No, I think you're right. That's also an important one, because all the other members of our society that seem to be doing better than us as black people, that's the one thing that they have over us, right?
Okay.
The fact that they always have someone that they can call,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And again, it highlights, accountant, I hope you are listening. It highlights Thank you. It highlights the importance of the relationship building part, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it's not even just building relationships for a future success that you want, but just having people that you can turn to when things are tough. Having people that can point out your flaws or your shortcomings or your development areas, Yeah, it's invaluable. You can't even put a price on that.
Nah, that's dope. And on that note,
On that note,
on that note, thank you so much, guys, for watching the introduction session.
Get
We
to know
still
me.
have a hat full of questions, the questionable hat. So we are gonna need to have
Hashtag questionable hat.
we're gonna need to have a second session.
Definitely.
But thank you for watching, and please do keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna be dropping episodes soonest. I think after this one is released next week. Episode. We're gonna do the first episodes. The guests are amazing. The guests are mind blowing. They are
The
accomplished.
lessons,
They are unpredictable.
the nuggets.
They are yewena.
No, I hope you guys are ready for, to take in. There's a lot of nuggets that each of our guests offers, right? And I hope you keep an open mind to not just look at what this person offers you from a career perspective, but also the journey that they traveled and how it influenced where they ended up. So that's another important element that I think we want to highlight.
Hey, you talk, my brother.
I talk
That's
next.
why you love Mustafa.
No, man, there's a lot going on in the brain of mine. So, getting it out sometimes. So thank you once again for tuning in, guys. We look forward to interacting with you. We want you guys to sort of help us as well, because develop the show as we move on. Let us know what you like to see, which careers stand out for you, who's your favorite, why, if you want to. Let's make it interactive.
And who you'd like to see as well. If there's a career that you're interested in and you want us to have a convo with someone in it, can be random. We'll make the calls through our network.
The network will work.
Yeah,
mama.
no. The network needs
The
to
network
work.
needs to work.
Hola,
Signing out.
9 to life.
It's 9 to life.